Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike the intern, Ned Reynolds in the studio Thursday morning. The Kansas City Chiefs made some news yesterday, trading away Deuce, Trent McDuffie going to the Los Angeles Rams. And again, I loved him. He was an incredible player. Without him making that sack on the 49ers, we don't win that Super Bowl. But it's business, and I think we made out pretty well. What do you think?
All right, we heard from Mike Holmes. Here's my opinion on it. At first, I was a little puzzled by it, as a matter of fact. I thought, what are they doing? Then the more I thought about it, well, this does make sense because the Chiefs are getting 4 draft choices out of that, 3 of them coming up next month in April, including the Rams' number 1 draft choice. And that is pick number 29. So the Chiefs will have 2 numbers 1 draft choices in the coming draft. That's very important. Secondly, I thought, well, Veach has some kind of an inner game plan in mind here. He wouldn't just trade off a guy who's a good player, probably beyond his great years, but certainly a good player. McDuffie is still an anchor was an anchor to the Chiefs' defensive backfield, but he had some liabilities. His numbers were down last year, and he is reaching free agent status. Chiefs needed a salary cap dump, and they got one. The Los Angeles Rams more than willing to take him on because he does fit a very important role with the Rams. So the more I thought about it, more read about it, it does make sense. And I think the Chiefs probably came out a little bit better on this one with those 4 draft choices that they're going to have. Be anxious to see how they're applied to what the Chiefs need and how this will fit into the Kansas City salary cap situation. They may still open the road for some more free agents. No decision yet from Travis Kelce. It was expected this week, but who knows? And, I don't think the Chiefs would be too terribly disappointed if he didn't come back, but that remains to be seen. Nonetheless, I think maybe Kansas City comes out the better of these 2 teams with that deal.
Yeah, and like you started off the conversation with, Mike Holmes and Ned Reynolds seem to agree on this one, which is good.
Well, I think so.
In addition to that, they restructured Chris Jones' contract, so they saved another $20 million. So I think they're around 50 going into the cap, which, again, going into the draft under the cap. So,
and I was told by an expert that the Chiefs would never restructure a Jones contract, so they do.
Who is the person that told you that? Oh, come on, Ned. I want the tea, man. You guys, light those phones up for him. You're going to have to pressure him into it. No surprise there. Patriots released Stephon Diggs, and I don't want him anywhere near Kansas City.
And the fact that the Chiefs would even consider him would be a shock. He is going to be released next week by the Patriots. We say that next week, and it will be early next week because the business season opens for the National Football League on the 11th of March, and that's when all deals can be conducted. Now, they can be talked about and they can be made in word, but until that's official, then it's going to be on March 11th or before. Guy's 32 years old. He's slowed down by a step, and the fact that Patriots didn't want him back anymore, I think, says a lot. Has a big salary, but even over and above that, he has that charge of felony strangulation still awaiting trial, and that comes up in April. That all fits into the whole circumstance. No, I don't think the Chiefs are interested in him at all.
And again, I don't blame him. Let's switch gears to spring training. It's pretty crazy. World Baseball Classic's happening right now this week, but also spring training at the same time. So you got some of baseball's best playing on their world teams, and then the organizations are still playing, and it's kind of all moving in the same direction, right?
And what's interesting is that the big league clubs who do or are missing some of their players, Cardinals aren't one of them. They have their full squad intact. The World Baseball Classic teams, the other nations, are playing these teams in spring training. USA played the Colorado Rockies yesterday, beat them 14-4. But the Cardinals played Nicaragua, and Nicaragua is not considered to be a contender for the World Baseball Classic Championship. But doggone if they didn't beat the Cardinals by a score of 2-1. Their pitching held down St. Louis. Matt Liberatore did allow those 2 runs, one of them coming on a home run. The Nicaraguan team is not bad. They're not great, but they aren't bad either. Nonetheless, they did beat the Cardinals 2-1, and that's a feather in Nicaragua's cap when they take the field for their level, and I believe they're playing in San Juan, Puerto Rico, if I'm not mistaken.
And again, go Team USA. Your thoughts on Lou Holtz passing yesterday, sir?
Certainly one of the most iconic individuals in the American sports scene, no matter what the sport might be. In his case, of course, it was college football with actually half a year in the pros. He was the New York Jets coach for a very short time, didn't like the pros at all. So he went back to college, had two very lengthy stints. One was at Arkansas, where Lou was the coach for 7 years, and the other was at Notre Dame, where he was the coach for 11 years. He had others in between there. But the fact of the matter remains that Lou Holtz is one of the most inspiring of the coaches ever. Now, was he a good tactician? Yeah, because he won a national championship at Notre Dame in 1988. Of course, he had the horses to get it done, too. And with Arkansas, he had them in contention virtually every year. I think he never had a losing season in his years at Arkansas, and he was able to come up, and I believe it was 1983, 82 or 83, where he had a 10-2 team. They were very, very good. And Holtz, who was an absolutely magnificent speaker, longtime Ozarks fans will remember Charlie Spoonhour, who was the basketball coach at Missouri State, then Southwest Missouri State. Well, Holtz is very much like him. Gifted speakers, guys who were great with the quips. Of course, after he retired from coaching, Holtz went on national television, and he was a football analyst, and he could do a very good job of that. He was also, and Mike, you may have seen this too on the 30 for 30 that ESPN puts out, the very famous game in 1988, I should say, when Notre Dame played Miami. The Catholics versus the convicts. It was a superior level of promotion. Well, Holtz had nothing to do with that, and that was put on by a couple students. But the fact is that he was the coach at Notre Dame, and he played that promotional role to the fullest. And Notre Dame won 31-30 over a very, very good Miami team. Yeah, Lou Holtz is one of the best. Passed away yesterday at the age of 89. While it's very sad, it was not surprising. Hospice had been called in, and Lou had been in failing health for a number of years. Lou Holtz leaving us at the age of 89.
And again, he great football mind, and a lot of Razorbacks fans definitely going to remember him, as well as a lot of Irish fans. Bears, Lady Bears, and Panthers all got something going on today. Is that right?
Well, both Missouri State teams played the same teams at other courts. Now, what? That's right. Both Missouri State teams will play Western Kentucky. The men's game is here. It's at the Great Southern Bank Arena. Starts at 7 o'clock tonight. That's Missouri State versus Western Kentucky in men's basketball. The Lady Bears play the Western Kentucky Lady Hilltoppers in Bowling Green, Kentucky, virtually at the same time. So those two are playing at opposite ends of each other, and it'll be a very interesting set of games. The Bears need this one. The Bears have lost 7 straight. They need a win over a Western Kentucky team that is pretty good. Drury their regular season's over, and Drury is now in the GLVC tournament. This is the postseason, the conference tournament, and Drury really has to win out or they're not going anywhere. And who do they play tonight up in St. Louis? The number 1 ranked team in the Great Lakes Valley Conference, Rockhurst, out of Kansas City. Be an awfully big challenge for Drury. We'll see what happens. Drury Lady Panthers play tomorrow.
Good luck to all of them, man. You're going to have to figure out something to do. Your dance card's full of it. Yeah. It was Arkansas and SLU yesterday. It was funny, when I was in St. Louis last week, before I went to see Nine Inch Nails, I went out to dinner with a couple of guys that do label stuff up there, and one of them made the comment, it's really weird to be looking around and seeing everyone into SLU basketball right now, but they got themselves a team.
Well, they're number, I think 22, I think St. Louis University is in the country, and they're really very good. Played Loyola Chicago last night and beat the Loyola Ramblers 79-65, so St. Louis continues to play right on. They'll have their conference tournament coming up next week. Arkansas played down in Fayetteville, played Texas last night. I'm not sure Texas wanted to play this game. They just went through the motions. Arkansas buried them by 20, 105-85. And out in Seattle, don't look now, but here come the St. Louis Blues. They've now won 3 in a row.
Whoa.
Blues 3, the Seattle Kraken 2. Still a long way to go to become playoff eligible, but it's not over yet.
it isn't over, and go Blues. Ned, have a wonderful day. And again, we are doing our St. Jude Radiothon. If you can help us help these kids in the fight of their life. Call now 1-800-341-4731. That's 1-800-341-4731. 1-800-341-4731.